Hello and welcome to another edition of Chasing the Dollar. And it's certainly been great racing. None better this week for greyhounds down in Hobart, where they've got the big national finals. And as I welcome in Timmy Newbold, it is a very good time of the year.
Great time of the year, Ronnie. Nationals, August is always Nationals time, and really good couple of finals Saturday night. But we've got a good meeting at Wentworth Park as well.
And of course for TAB Sportsbet, Matt Jenkins is here with all the updated news. Plenty happening in spring racing.
Thanks, Rommel. Another big week with 14 different meetings covered by TAB Fixed Odds, and they're highlighted by, of course, in Hobart there for the national sprint and distance finals, and also the blacktop heats at the Gardens. There's going to be some extra markets too for the finals as well. Do you think one or maybe two of the track records will be broken? Of course, Miata broke it last week. Look out for those under racing extras. And also on Saturday night at Wentworth Park, a quaddie, $25,000 jackpot. So make sure you're taking down these tips coming up.
Wentworth Park, the action for the quadrilla legs on Saturday night, races 5 through to 8. Wendy, Tim has not been the kindest for us the last couple of weeks, but let's turn it around. Yeah,
it's been a strip out. Ronnie's still trying to get off the canvas after last week, but we'll bounce back on Saturday night. Race 5, number 3, Bonita Banana. She is a lid pinger. She's got brilliant early pace. I can see her rolling straight to the lead and keep running along. She runs around 30-1, 30-2. That's about a stick, but that will get away with this race. Number 4, King Biscuit Boy, holds the key to the race. I think this greyhound will hold the outside division up because he is a wide runner, and that's where the inside trio really come into play. Number 2, Kamina, is a big danger. Probably should have beaten Bonita Banana last week. Ran up the back of the greyhound down the back straight and was very unlucky. Throw in 1, Tiggerlong Heidi from the inside alley, will be in the firing line from the jump. And number 8, Mark of Love for the multiples. This greyhound clocked flying time last week and is a high-speed greyhound, but he does prefer drawing the inside alley, and I just can't see him finding it from the 8 alley on Saturday night. Bonita Banana on top.
It's banana with strawberries for Tim Newbold. Wentworth Park Saturday night, race number 6, second leg, Tim.
Really keen on number 8, Dusty Valley. These runners all qualified in heats run at Richmond last Saturday night. Well drawn wider out on the track. He'll handle himself out wide. He'll just carve across, settle second, third or fourth. I think he'll be too strong at the end. He chased What a Lotto down at Richmond last week, and I can see a similar scenario happening here. What a Lotto should lead and will run flying early and middle sections, but just struggles running out the 700 metres. But will be better suited coming back to the tighter Wentworth Park to try and see out the half mile. It'll run a huge race on the bunny, What a Lotto, but I think Dusty Valley will just be too strong at the end. Throw in number 3, Dusty Dave. You've got to throw it into your wider multiples and wider quaddies because he is knocking on the door and he will win a race at Wentworth Park in coming weeks, but he has been costly of late.
Third leg of the quaddie on Saturday night at Wentworth Park, Tim. How do you see it?
There isn't a great deal of pace in the race, Ronnie. I like number 4, Minza Red 1 and 3, Cold Fusion. I think the winner will come from that pair, and I'm going to go with number 3, Cold Fusion. He is all class. He's got 2 wide runners drawn on his inside, but they're both slow beginners. He's only got to begin cleanly to cut that pair off at the first turn, find the rails. He is a desperate railer, and when he does find the rails, he is very strong. I think Minza Red 1 will lead the race. I think Cold Fusion can follow it through and be too strong at the end. One at Lismore on Tuesday night, Cold Fusion down to Wentworth Park on Saturday night. I think it can go back-to-back. Minza Red 1, as I said, I think it is the likely leader and will run a huge race on the bunny. Throw in number 5, Go Mighty Shiraz. Last time at Wentworth Park ran an absolute cracker behind Bye Bye Bucks running second. Has since stepped up to the 600 metres and scored in good fashion, but comes back to Wentworth Park dropping in distance. You've got to throw Go Mighty Shiraz into the multiples.
All right, Timmy, if we're coming down to the last leg at Wentworth Park, where do we throw our hopes?
Chasing to Cash has been a real favourite of mine for a long time. Chasing to Cash, he's a reliable beginner. He's got high speed. He led all of the way in similar company last week from a wider alley. I would prefer him drawn in the middle of the line, but the 3 alley, he will handle that. He can run around 5:40 to the mark, and that will lead this field. I think number 3, Chasing to Cash, clearly the one to beat. 5, Street Boss, ran a solid race when beaten last week by Or Debris. in tougher company, but did have the 1 alley on that occasion. Goes to the middle 5 alley and has just got to contend with that. If the luck does come his way, he can certainly figure in the finish. Throw in number 8, Penetrator. This is a greyhound who's going places, only lightly raced. Went up to the Darwin Cup recently, making the final. Comes back to Wentworth Park in astute hands and should be ready to go first up back at Wentworth Park. And Addiction for your multiples.
The best bet for this weekend from Tim Newbold. Of course, last week Garlett led up for a fair way and couldn't get home. What do you see this week?
Yeah, it was very disappointing, Garlett, and not really good on the pocket either. Race 9, number 1, Oh So Smooth. This greyhound has got plenty of ability. Returns to Wentworth Park, third up from a break. Should be peaking, ideally drawn on the inside. Inside, 2 wider runners, which I think will hold. The only other danger, I think, in the race, Proven Looper Up in the run to the first turn. I think it Oh So Smooth can hunt through lead and just keep rolling her along. The greyhounds run 29.90 odd at Wentworth Park, and I think it can return to Wentworth Park on Saturday night and get the money.
And as far as a bit of value?
Bonita Barnarda in race number 5. She is just a lid pinger. She's got good early pace. She should roll to the lead, and if there's any trouble behind her, I think she can pinch it at around the 3-1 mark.
All right, there it is from Timmy Newbold, and let's update with our national news and all our spring racing. Here's Matt Jenkins again at TAB Sportsbet.
Well, what about the international racing at the moment? So far, we've had 7 different favourites for the Melbourne Cup. Mount Athos is now the favourite, of course, that won last weekend. Looked pretty impressive as well. $17. As much as $71 was on offer. And Brigatan looked pretty good as well. 100-1 into $51, of course. It's a pretty good form line too, isn't it? It ran second in the pre-Kergely. Check out that market at tab.com.au. But on the sporting front, of course, Manly are starting to really rev up and head towards the finals. A big game for them against Brisbane. They are at home. They are the outright favourites to win the competition and go back-to-back a bet during the week. $13,500 at $3.25. The Bulldogs on the second line at $3.50. In the AFL, it's the Swans taking on the Hawks. It's a top-of-the-table clash at the SCG for a twilight fixture. I can tell you all the early money has been for Hawthorn. The Swannies outsiders there at $2. The Hawks at $1.80. That could decide the minor premiers there. If the Swans do win it, they will be the minor premiers. The rugby, it's going to be a very tough ask for the Wallabies. Going over to New Zealand, big outsiders up against the All Blacks. All those markets at tab.com.au. Call us on 133 390. Pop into your local New South Wales or Victorian TAB.
Well, Tim, it is a little bit of a difficult program at Wentworth Park on Saturday night. The quaddie legs, plenty of value.
Yeah, it is a tough meeting, but we've really got to bounce back. Ronnie, the last couple of weeks have been diabolical, really, so I've got to kick back, find a winner so we can enjoy getting up of a Sunday morning.
All right, we'll head to that ATM machine on Saturday and rebuild. Let's hope we all find a winner or two. Thanks for following along on Chasing the Dollar. I'm Ron Arnold, along with Tim Newbold. Thanks for being here.